about the last part of your chapter 1, the living world. Here I am going to describe you about the various taxonomical aids, where I will be describing about herbarium in details. So watch it. Hello my dear students, today I am with the topic taxonomical aids for you. Now what is taxonomical aid? Now taxonomical aid is the collection of various type of samples or preserved organisms which help in extensive research work like laboratory work. So classifying organism into various categories need a lot of field work and laboratory work. So this is so important because taxonomic organizations help in identifying many organisms which are necessary in various fields like agriculture, bioresearch and industrial purposes. Now identification of organisms requires intensive laboratory and field studies. The collection of actual specimens of plants, animals, species, knowing their habitat and their traits, these are essential and are very important source of taxonomical studies. So all these information is used in classification of organisms. Now there are certain procedures and techniques that have been developed to store and preserve different type of specimens. So here, why do we use taxonomical aids? Let me tell you about that. Now taxonomical aids are essential for taxonomical studies of various species of plants, animals and other organisms. They are also required to correctly classify the organisms and identify them. It is also required to identify an organism required for the laboratory work and field studies, museum, herbarium, zoological parks and botanical gardens. So here let us study about some of the taxonomical aids. Now taxonomical aids include herbarium, it also includes botanical garden, it includes museum, it includes monograph, manual, flora, keys and zoological park. Now here I will describe each and every part one by one, and I will put stress on herbarium. So first I will start with herbarium. Now what do you mean by herbarium? Herbarium is actually a storehouse of collected plant specimens which are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. Now these sheets are arranged further according to universally accepted system of classification. Now here the institutes and universities, they maintain their own herbaria by collecting specimens from local places as well as from far away places. So here you will study about how to make a herbarium sheet. That I will tell you in the latter part of the video. Now let's go to the botanical gardens. The botanical gardens are specialized gardens that are here the collection of living plants for reference are kept. Usually the plant species are kept in the living condition. Here like you have facilities like library, laboratories, herbarium as well as museum. Now botanical gardens are maintained by government, semi-government and other private organizations. Botanists and gardeners, they look after these plants in the botanical garden. Now let me tell you some of the very important botanical gardens which are present in India as well as in other countries. In India, Lloyd Botanical Garden in Darjeeling and National Botanical Research Institute in Lucknow, which is very important, and the most important, that is Indian Botanical Garden in Howrah, in Kolkata. Next comes the other botanical garden. Royal Botanical Garden in Kew, London is a very important botanical garden. Then New York Botanical Garden in New York City, Cambridge University Botanical Garden in Cambridge. So there are so many types of botanical gardens, so many botanical gardens located all over the world. Now, what is the role of a botanical garden? In a botanical garden, people they are provided with recreation facilities to people. A wide variety of plant species grow there. So they provide ready-made materials for research. So here you see they improve the environment, provide greenery to the place, create pollution-free environment, and also serve as habitat for animals. Next comes the museum. Now, museum is a place for collection of preserved plants and animal species for study and references. Now, the universities and educational institutes maintain their own museum in their botany and zoology departments. Plants which cannot be kept in herbaria, like very tall plants, very big plants, which cannot be kept in a herbaria sheet, are preserved in museums. Algae, mosses, fungi, ferns, fruits, etc. are even preserved in museums. Specimens are preserved in containers or jars in preservative solution so that they should not get spoiled. Plants and animal species may also be preserved as dry specimens. Insects are also preserved here in insect box. After collecting it, they are killed and pinned, while large animals are either stuffed or preserved in skeletal form, like you can see the skeleton of a dinosaur in a museum, or a big blue whale in a dinosaur, in a museum. Next comes the zoological parks. Now, zoological parks or zoos that we commonly call, they are places where wild animals are kept in protected environment under human care and which enable us to learn about their food habits, their behavior. So, zoological parks also provide natural habitat to the animals. So, in India there are so many zoological parks. Nearly 200 zoological parks are present in India. You have heard about Nandankanan Zoological Park. Okay, it is in Odisha, Nandankanan Zoo. Then National Zoological Park in Delhi, Alipur Zoological Garden in Kolkata. Then you can see Guwahati Zoo in Assam. So there are so many zoological parks in India. So these are the centers for recreation and educational tools also for the children. Many of you might have visited a zoological park or a zoo. Next comes the keys. Now, key is also a taxonomical aid which is used for identification of plants and animals based on their similarities and dissimilarities. So what does it mean? It means it is a taxonomical aid which is used to identify a particular plant or an animal based on their similarities present and the dissimilarities present in them. Now, this key helps in identification of plants and animals by selecting and eliminating the characters according to their presence or absence in the organism under study. So, whatever organisms we are studying, that organism, their particular traits are studied, identified, which are selected and even eliminated, whether they are present or absent. After study, they are seen. So this key is generally use a pair of two contrasting traits. Now here to study tree, we have to use two contrasting pair of traits or characters which are called couplets. C-O-U-P-L-E-T, couplets. Now these result in acceptance of one character and rejection of the other character. Now each statement given in a key is called a lead. L-E-A-D, lead. So every statement in a key is called a lead. I hope you understood this. So keys can be of two types, intended key and bracketed key. Next is about flora. Now what is a flora? Flora is a taxonomical key or aid which is important resource that provide information of the taxonomy, nomenclature and descriptive data for a plant which is newly discovered. Next come monograph. What is a monograph? Monograph is a comprehensive treatment of a taxon in biological taxonomic studies. These contain information on any one taxon. Monograph actually revise all known species within only one group or a group and add any newly discovered specimens, collect and organize them. Available information are given on the ecological association, geographic distribution and morphological variations within the group. Next come manuals. Manuals and catalogs. They are together known as manuals. Now manuals are the other means of recording descriptions. They also help in correct identification. Manuals are useful in providing information for identification of name of species found in that particular area. So here I am going to explain about herbarium in detail. Let's have a look about herbarium. So here is the next topic, herbarium and how to prepare a herbarium sheet. Now as I told you before, herbarium is a storehouse of collected plant specimens. Now how can you prepare your own herbarium sheet? For making a herbarium sheet, you have to collect some plant specimens. You can use some tools to uproot the plant specimen as it is along with its flower, seed and bud intact in the plant. So you can use the tools like scissors, cutters, diggers, which is also called khurpi, or you can use a pruning knife. So this can be used for uprooting the plant that you are going to paste in your herbarium sheet. Next is collected specimens are carried in a box called vasculum. Now this is done by the professional herbarium, those who manage the herbarium sheet. Now you students of school, you don't have a vasculum. A vasculum is a box which is generally used to keep the specimens to prevent the loss of moisture by the plant. Next comes the third point, what to do the next step. That is, you have to note down the information about the habitat of the plant, the season when you are uprooting the plant and preserving it, date and the time of collection in a separate notebook. Otherwise, you will forget afterwards when you are going to paste it on your herbarium sheet. Next comes drying. How to dry the herbarium sheet. Now drying of the sample can be done by spreading the whole plant and keeping them between the folds of the old newspaper time to time. So you can use more than 2 newspapers so that the total moisture present in the plant specimen will be absorbed by the newspaper. Next is the dried specimens are documented on herbarium sheet. So you have to paste this document, that is the herbarium, on the sheet. Now how to keep your herbarium and what is the dimension of the herbarium sheet? Herbarium sheet should be thick white paper. You can use chart paper. The dimension should be 29 into 41.5 centimeters. Now you can paste the specimen with the help of glue, or you can stitch the plant on the sheet of paper by using small thread and a needle. Then you can also preserve the flowers and the seeds of the plant by using a small packet. So small packets containing seeds or flower samples can be attached on the sheet as well. Okay, and the last is a printed label should be pasted on the right corner of the paper, right lower corner of the paper. This printed label should contain the following data. What are they? Let me show you. Name of the collector is a must. You can even use the name of the institute, in which institution you are studying. You have to write the scientific name of the plant. You can search it, or you can take the help from your teachers. you have to write the common name of the plant, you have to write the family to which the plant belongs to, the region of collection from where you are collecting, and the date of collection. So these are the information to be needed in the specimen. Now let me show you the uses of herbaria. I am just telling you what are the uses of herbaria. So these herbaria are used for identify the plants. They are used for compilations of flora, monograph, manuals that I just told you. These are mainly based on the specimen of herbaria. Herbaria are also useful in locating wide varieties and relatives of economically important plants. They help in knowing the morphological variation found in the species, and the herbaria are useful for research work in plant taxonomy, morphology, ecological distribution, and even we can know about the endangered and rare specimens of plants. Now I will show you how to make your own herbaria. So this is your summer vacation holiday homework that will be taken by the teacher after the school reopens. So this is your homework. Once again I am repeating. Now have a look how you have to make your herbarium sheet. So student, here you can see this is a herbarium sheet. This is a plant of Marsilea species. You can see how this information is written here. The herbarium Susani in the local name, scientific name is given, family, the habitat, okay, time of collection, date of collection, locality, and the collector's name is given. So this is how you have to make the herbarium sheet. I am showing you another sheet. See, this is another sheet where you can see this is the plant Tulsi, which we commonly know in India, Ocimum. So here you can see the scientific name, then the family, habitat, collected and identified by, locality and date and time. So this is how you have to make your herbarium sheet. Now you can see this seeds are also intact, the flower is intact, and you see the collector has pasted this total plant on the copy. I am going to show you another more herbarium sheet. Here you can see it is the another herbarium sheet for a Diopteris. Now you can see the plant is pasted in the upside down position. You can see the sori. I hope you can see the sori on the leaf margin, isn't it? So this is how you have to paste your specimens in a proper way so that you can identify, and the other people who are observing it later can also identify the picture very well. So this is how you have to make your herbarium sheet properly, giving the description below in the right and lower corner, right? As I told you, you can also preserve the seed of the plant specimen that you are collecting for the herbarium. You see here the students have used a small packet for preserving the seed of the mustard. So in this way you have to preserve the seed so that it can be intact for many years. You see sellotape with the upper part of the small packet. So you can do like that. My dear children, hope you understood the total topic of taxonomical aid, and in details I have tried to explain how to prepare a herbarium sheet. So it's a very good topic. I hope you liked it, and there's a bit work for you, that is you have to make some of the specimens for your herbarium sheet as your holiday homework. So here come your work. So you have to collect any 5 plant specimens, 2 gymnosperm and 3 angiosperms. It should be wild variety, not ornamental plant. So collect it, follow the procedure as I have described in my video, and paste it and bring to school after the school reopens. Thanks for watching.